My Republican colleagues very often like to quote Dr. King. I don't know, maybe for some faux civil rights credibility or to pervert his words to suit your extremist needs, while working actively to undermine his legislative legacy. Republican attacks on the EOC are part of their broader efforts to weaken civil rights protections. One of their goals plainly laid out in Project 2025, a 1,000-page bucket list of extremist policies. Mr. Berry, Chapter 18 of the Project 2025 manifesto is about the Department of Labor. And you are the author of that chapter, correct?
Lead author, yes. There's others too.
Yes, you are. I believe the American public should know exactly how you and the Republican majority that invited you to testify today want to sabotage the EOC, rewrite the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and push all of us back to an era of Jim Crow racism. I'm shocked that my colleague across the aisle was in disbelief at our characterizations and assertions of racism and discrimination when even former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the Republican side of the aisle looked like the most restrictive country club in America. We all know that Make America Great Again is about making America white only.
Grand afternoon. Good evening for most of you guys. Let's go. Hold on. Friiin.
Policies and regulations that Project 2025 is trying to get rid of. Sending an executive order to contractors. Mr. Berry, does ideas sound familiar? Of course.
I kind of like to teach you guys.
They're great.
A couple of things. So, if you guys haven't heard about the federal freeze on the government, I'll tell you how we do it in this music. if you guys haven't heard about the federal government freeze, but if you didn't want to be bored yesterday, I do believe that I warned that Section 8 would be cut. Section 8, who is used by quite a few people. And, these people who call me boring, I wonder did they know that today would be the day that their Section 8 would be revoked while they sit on panels talking dumb stuff. Are we going to wake up, America? Black America, are we going to wake up and quit playing these games with ourselves? Are we going to quit putting our hands over our eyes and stuffing our fingers in our ears and still stay numb and dumb to the fact that this is a whole drawback in trying to put us back in some type of Jim Crow position in the United States? I, I just don't understand at what point do these highbrow, educated, I know so much and all I can talk about is dumb shit. All I can talk about is my vices that keep my mind blown. All I can talk about is ignorant ass shit. All I can do is sit up and dox bitches, but I cannot dox information that's gonna help me and how I live my life. Who's doxing that? Who is there anybody doxing that? Okay, let's get with it. Okay, so I'm glad you guys joined me this afternoon. Um, this shit is just shameful. Shameful, I tell you. Hey, M. Renee. Hey, Lena Pretty Brown Eyes, Marvelous Me, Keys Roundtable, D Love. Thank you guys for coming out. Big Set, peace and multiple blessings to you. Vibrant Law. Did I speak to Dr. Soapy yet? It's Dr. Soapy. Miss Ray, thank you for being here. Um, let me see who else is here. Okay, that's all the people who dropped down. Please take the poll. The Only Empress, thank you for being here. I have no mods here. Okay, anyway, I will mod for myself. Okay, so let's talk about Sour Patch Kid. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about this spending freeze. So I told you guys on yesterday that it was being rolled around that people who were on Section 8, they were going to no longer be funding Section 8. So on today, hey Church Mouse, Grand Rising, hey Jill's Comfort Zone. So on today, there was a letter put out about, let me move, an executive order that federal funds used to support wait a minute, I don't think that's not the first page. I got them out of order. Let me get the pages in order right quick. I'm on page 2. Let me get page 1. There was an executive order talking about all the spending that will be frozen in the federal government, and I'm gonna have I'm gonna let you hear a list of all the things that this affect. All the things that this affects, and let's keep it a buck. It's gonna affect his uh dingy base the most because we all know that they are on public assistance far greater than we are. But let me read you the letter that came out. I'll be remiss if I don't give you this information. Okay, from Matthew Vayeth, acting director of the Office of Management and Budget. Remember we talked about I remember I talked to you about the guy that they have up that they want to confirm to the Office of Management and Budget. Where when we talked about him, I think it was Monday. Where is this new person? See, this is just a temporary person. The real person that they want to put in is from Project 2025. I told you guys this. I let you hear some of the things and some of the thoughts that he was espousing. I also gave you the information that Project 2025 wanted to get this presidency off at a quick clip. And when they were summoned to uh, to Congress, they refused to tell the senators what this first 180 days of a 45, 47 presidency would look like. What did they have in store for these first 180 days? Now we're just on day 7 right here. Are we on 7? Yeah, we're on day 7 right here. Have you guys seen enough? Do you think there's more? Have you not been warned? Are we still going to sit up here and listen to fools talk about the grandness and why they are so much better because they voted for this fool? And you see that he is taking this nation into total chaos. What does chaos bring about? So he's already enacted the enemies combatant law which says that he can bring the U.S. military on our own ground. So that's already we talked about that here. We have already talked about that here. So with him freezing all government funding, what is that going to bring? What will that bring for all the people affected? Some of you guys, not maybe not you guys who are here with me, but some of Americans are so dumb that they don't even understand that how that's going to affect them. And when they find out how that's going to affect them, what is that going to bring this country to? In my opinion, I would think it's going to bring a chaos in this country. I think that it's going to be object chaos in this country. And what since the military is available on all of this type of stuff to the commander in chief, do you think that you have been warned that the military will be used to get United States in order? And you have also been warned that in Project 2025 that they actually assumed that we would be under martial law during this first 180 days. Why did they assume that? Because they knew what they had coming down the pike for us. And they knew that you dummies will actually try to use your constitutional right and protest your government. You know, like 45, 47 said that those January 6 people who was trying to prevent the uh peaceful power exchange. He said that they have the right to protest. Was anybody any he didn't call the nobody out on them until 3 hours later. He let them do what they want to do. But you think that's going to happen when you guys start protesting this bullshit that they are putting on you day after day after day? And you guys sit up there. Well, not you guys. You guys are here. You guys listen to me for the most part. Do you think that this bought and sold media? I've talked to you guys about this. So, do you think this bought and sold media is going to give you the real information and how it really it impacts your life? No, they're not. But I got to go watch world news tonight so I can surface talk about what's really going on. What is really going on? So you can't depend on this bought and sold media. You can't depend upon this media who is kissing the ring and making all the stories seem not so bad. You cannot depend upon the media who sat up there and showed Elon Musk behind the presidential podium give that signal and try to pretend like that's not what he was doing. See, none of the for profit keywords for profit media wanted to call it out for what it really was. And what has he Musk gone and done now? He's gone over and showed up at the far right German party who are espousing all of those same fucking talks that have that same attitude that Hitler had. But no, no, that's not what he was doing when he stood behind the podium. Let your American media tell you that. Okay, okay. So okay, I far I jumped off the ledge. I'm all the way over in the Indian Ocean. I was trying to be in the Pacific Ocean. Let's get back to the Pacific Ocean. Okay. So from Matthew Vaught, the acting director of Office Management and Budget, said the American people elected Donald J. 4547 to be president of the United States and gave him a mandate to increase the impact of every federal taxpayer dollar. In fiscal year of 2024, the nearly 10 trillion, you hear how much? 10 trillion that the federal government spent. More than 3 trillion was federal financial assistance, such as grants, loans. Career political appointees in the executive branch have a duty to align federal spending and the actions with the will of the American people as expressed through presidential priorities. Financial assistance should be dedicated to advancing administrative priorities. We should only spend money based upon the administration priorities, not your priorities. Not you dummies, not the ones who sit up and say that you voted for him because he was so good for no, based upon not their own priorities. And let's not, you heard it over here, that they have already got rid of the watchdogs over all of these departments. And so you now we they have gotten rid of the watchdog over the Pentagon's $850 billion funds that they are able to skin to use now. Hold on. Hold on one second. Now, hey. Now they're talking about the trillions of dollars that they use to help the people. Okay, let me continue. Okay. To advance the okay now expressed through the financial assistance should be dedicated to advancing the administration's priority, focusing taxpayer dollars to advance a stronger and safer America, eliminating the financial burden of inflation for citizens. So, how is this going to eliminate inflation for citizens? Okay, unleashing American energy and manufacturing, ending wokeness. Ending wokeness. What the fuck? See, they want you to believe that wokeness is a problem that they have to spend money on. So since this is their administrative position, we're going to have to cut all funding because we need to end wokeness. Did they just not end DEI? Did they just not put a freeze on all civil rights cases? So let's be clear. Civil rights cases are not just bought on by black people. Your civil rights can be violated if you're whatever color. So people think that it's okay. No, it's okay. He just talking about them black people over there. Let him do that. Yeah, get them black people. Get them black people. But do they not know that they have civil rights as white people and all other races of people also have civil rights that can be violated? But if they think they're just doing it to you, it's okay. Okay, so he also ended the uh, discrimination policy for government contracts. So, do he think that he's just hurting black people who were awarded contracts through the government? Even though it was $9 billion worth of contract, it was just a sliver on the graph, though. So, when you go over to black and women, the it was the highest number on the graph. And do you think that it's black and women? Do you think it's only black women? No, it's white women who got 79% of these government contracts. But are they saying anything? Where do you see them out here saying anything? Because they think it's just hurting you. Do you see them saying anything? Let me continue. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Where am I? Okay. Unleashing America Energy and Manufacturing, Ending Wokeness and the Weaponization of the Government. They're going to end the weaponization of the government. That's why they just fired 12 attorney generals who worked on the case that they were giving in a non-political position on their jobs as AGs, because they want to end the weaponization of government. They also said that they're looking into investigating these people that they fired um, as well. Okay, so they're ending the weaponization of the government, promoting efficiency in the government, and making America healthy again. So they're wait, this okay. I'll remind me about the making America healthy again. I want to read this. The use of federal resources to advance Marxist equality, transgenderism, and the Green New Deal social engineering policy is a waste of the taxpayer dollar and does not improve the day-to-day lives uh, of those we serve. So no, we have been taken out of the Paris climate agreement because they don't want to stop big corporations from being able to dump waste in your water and your air and not clean it up. And it's not going to affect those few at the top, those few who were invited to the inaugurations where they shut the regular yokels out from even viewing it from the street. Do you understand? Do you see what's going on now? Okay, let's continue. Uh, the memorandum requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance program and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements. So all of these programs are going to have to be consistent with the president's policies and requirements. For example, during the initial days of his administration, 4547 issued a series of executive orders to protect the American people and safeguard valuable taxpayer resources, including protecting the American people against invasion. That's when they called people coming south of the border enemy combatants so they can stick the American military on the American ground. Let's be clear. I talked to you guys about this even before the election. I warned about this before the election, but Ronnie Q is boring. Why is she talking about politics in the B sector? Let's continue. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, Reevaluating and realigning United States foreign aid, putting America first in international environmental agreements, such as taking us out of the Paris agreements. That puts us first, such as taking us out of the World Health Organization. Does that? Yes, that we are no longer a part of the world. You would know this if you came over to my boring channel. And how is that going to affect you and how you live your life? How did the C-19 affect you and how you lived your life, and those that have lost their lives because of that under this 4547 tutelage? Let's be clear. Okay. Let me see what else. Unleashing American energy, ending radical, wasteful government DEI programs, and those are the things that they are doing to help you, American people. Let's go to page 2 of the letter. That is freezing all government funding. Let me go to page 2. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. Here we go. These are the things that he's doing to help you. Okay. The executive orders that the federal funds are used to support hardworking American families. Uh, Hello, beef sector people, those of you who may be on Section 8, are you a hardworking American family? Are you working hard to get your Section 8? See, because the executive orders ensure that the federal funds are used to support hardworking American families. So, bitches, are you sitting up on YouTube all day, every day, talking dumb shit about dumb shit all day, every day? So, Maybe not. If you don't care, I don't care. I'm not on Section 8. To implement these orders, each agency must complete a comprehensive analysis of all the federal financial assistance program to identify programs, projects, and activities that may be implicated in any of the president's executive orders. In the interim, the extent permissible under applicable law, federal agencies must temporarily pause all activities related to obligation of disbursement of all federal financial assistance and other relevant agent activities that may be implicated by the executive order, including but not limited to financial assistance for foreign aid, non-governmental agencies, DEI, woke, gender ideology, whatever that is, and the Green New Deal. This temporary pause will provide the administration with time to review the agency's programs and determine the best use of the funding for those programs consistent with the law and the president's priorities. The law and the president's priorities. You know which going to come first because all of these, the firing of these attorney generals, he did that against the actual law and constitution. But he wants you to believe that this freezing of government funds is going to be according to the law and the president's priorities. Which one do you going to think is going to be more important? After all the unlawful shit that you have seen him do, like freezing civil rights cases. Which ones do thinking that he could do an executive order to take away affirmative action? But what he did do with that executive order was take away the executive order that gave non-discrimination, that made giving contracts, government contracts, to without discriminating against the people. He did. He got y'all there. He did get y'all there because it wasn't a part of the affirmative action bill. It was put in as an executive order. So an executive order can override another executive order. That's why they can discriminate in giving government contracts. Do you think they're going to discriminate against them white women who getting like 79% of the government contracts? Okay. Let's I went off. Okay, on a tangent. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Where am I? The temporary recall of the removes all government programs and for those considered within the law and the president's priorities. The temporary pause will become effective on January 28, 2025 at 5 o'clock p.m. 5 o'clock in the morning, what you gonna no 5 p.m. Ronnie Q 5 p.m. not 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, even before completing their comprehensive analysis, federal agencies must immediately identify any legally mandated actions or deadline for assistance program arising while the pause remain in effect. So they just gonna pause the shit, and you have to come to them and tell them why your program is needed. All of the oneness is on you. See, they didn't even bother to find out what all of these government funding programs even were attached to, even meant for the country. They don't give a fuck. They see trillions of dollars and they see that we have a mandate. We have a mandate. They ain't trying to figure out what it's for. They said that's cash. Cash money, bitch. Get the money, bitch. That's cash money. Who gives a fuck what you thought you was gonna use it for? Let's continue. Okay, let me see. Uh, let me see. Let me where. Federal agencies must report this information to the OBM along with an analysis of the requirement. OBM also directs federal agencies to pause all activities associated with the NOFOs, such as conducting merit review panels. So, if your shit was up for a merit review, a merit meaning it is needed. Fuck your merit review panel. Thank you for being here, Syit. Spicy Dousey, my good mod. I appreciate you for showing up. So let's see what else this letter says. And we're gonna get into some we're gonna get into this shit. Um okay. No later than February. Okay. So they must have all of this information in no later than February 10th. Agency shall submit to the OBM detailed information on any programs, projects, activities subject to this pause. Each agency must pause: 1. Insurance of new awards; 2. Disbursement of federal funds under all open awards; 3. Other relative agency actions that may be implicated by the executive orders to the extent permissible by law until the OBM has reviewed and provided guidance to your agency with respect to the information submitted. OBM may grant exceptions, allowing federal agencies to issue new awards or take other actions on case-by-case basis. To the extent uh, required by federal law, agency may continue taking certain administrative actions such as close out of federal awards. Close out of federal awards. Y'all can continue to kick people off Section 8, though. Y'all can continue to deny people these federal this federal money that is that they're applying to, that they may be owed, that they may qualify for. You can kick motherfuckers off, but the ones who are on, no. It's a freeze. Y'all can't pay them. Y'all got to y'all have to tell us why upon merit that these people are getting paid in the first place. But y'all surely y'all can continue to kick people off. Did you see what they doing here? No, a lot of you guys don't see what you're doing here because you trying to figure out some bullshit. And half of you two trying to figure out some bullshit are on Section 8. Half of you that's trying to figure out some bullshit do have children who eat free lunches at school. Half of you who are trying to figure out some bullshit, your child is affected by the Title I program that they have in schools that support your child. You know how many people on here do we hear that have special needs children that may be protected under Title I? Not no, do they care? Do they know? Are they conscious? I think the children have more sense than some of the parents at this point. I think the children have more sense than the parents in these sectors. Do they? Okay, I was over at Really Be TV. Can somebody drop Really Be TV's link in the chat for me? And I'm gonna let you Really Be TV said that I could in fact use this. So I'm gonna let you hear all of the programs that are affected by this. Now, a judge has put a hold on some parts of this, but at the time that I set up this live, I had just heard about this. Did anybody else hear about this or earlier today? I had set up my live for 5 p.m. around, I'm on the West Coast, around 10 or 11 this morning. Had you guys heard, so that would be 3 o'clock on the Eastern time. Had you guys heard about this this morning or this early this afternoon? Then I changed it to yesterday. I said, nah, I'll wait until tomorrow. I'll do it for my morning show. But I think that it is important for people to get this information and understand this information. And since I had been talking about this information all the while, you know, Bestie, they cut off my Section 8. Well, are people going to now have to use their shopping carts? It's not like they have any furniture. Surely they can put all their clothes in the shopping cart and move out of that Section 8 apartment, even though they get $1,000 a week. Surely. No, Bestie. How you like my hair? I had to get my dead ends trimmed off my ponytail. Bestie, you can't live with me. I got my lawn care worker living with me, and all my Coindellas are going to support us. It look like he won't even be getting food stamps no more. And I don't know what the fuck he think I got him up here for the food stamps. Okay, so do you think that these idiots know any of this? Do you think any of this is permeating the ignorance in the B sector? Well, it will. It surely will. So they're talking about stopping WIC for any people. Let me Really BTV gave me the permission to give you a list of all the things that this is affecting. I was over there on her channel today, and she made it easy for me. I was going to look for the list, but Really BTV said, yes, sure, you can definitely use my list. So let me find Really BTV and let you know all of the things that are going to be affected by this close down. Let me see, where is Really BTV? Hold on, hold on. Where is she? Where is Really BTV? Let me see. Oh, it's the tribe. Okay. That's the name of her video. Hey, Lord, hold on. Hey, stop. Stop. Can you guys still hear me? I can't for some reason mute my phone. Okay, here is Really BTV, and she's going to detail all of the things that are affected by this shutdown. So let's listen.
I don't know, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I really don't know. But when you got the Quakers, man, okay, Kenya sent me my list. Hold on. Thank you, Kenya, boo. Thank you. Hold on. Kenya sent me the list. Thank you, Kenya. Oh, Lord, child. This is small handwriting. Jesus. Department of State, okay. Food and Peace Program, Democracy Assistance Programs, Centers for Disease Control, National Institute of Health, Substance and Abuse Mental Health, Section 8 Housing Vouchers, Community Development Block Grant, Homeless Assistance Grants, Title I Grants, that's me, IDEA. So, hey, excuse me, every person that has a child with a disability that voted for Trump, that's IDEA right there. Title I, IDEA. Okay. Federal Work Study Program. Women, Infants, and Children, WIC. Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, that's SNAP. Y'all know what SNAP is.
SNAP is food stamps.
Rural Development, what's this say? This is writing is small, y'all. Broadband Program, FEMA, Homeland Security Grant Program, Overseas Humanitarian Disaster and Civic Aid Program. Child, the list goes on and on. And we know the student loans and the Pell Grants, okay? Let me tell y'all something.
So I'm going to drop this link to Really BTV in here.
Y'all know who I saw freaking out over on the Twitter machine today?
Hold on.
Do y'all know who I saw freaking out the most over to the TikTok? Now, it might be the algorithm that I'm in. I'm willing to accept that it might be the algorithm that I am in. But do y'all know who I saw freaking out over to the TikTok? White women. Baby, I saw so many videos of white women losing their shit today.
Yeah, because they want to pretend like it's us who benefit most from these programs. But they now go over to Really BTV and check her out. So let me now I also talk about, let me share this with you guys too. you know, I want to let you hear from some of your uh, elected officials. I know people here are from all different states. So let's see what Jasmine Crockett has to say about this. We love, well, some of us love some Jasmine Crockett. So,
As you can see, I am headed in for my swearing in. I am late, but I absolutely promised that I was going to go live so that I could talk about this bullshit that's popping off. So, in short, as I attempted to say over and over and over in the campaign, this is a white supremacy agenda that was laid out in Project 2025. If you go back on YouTube and look at some of the clips of various members in committee asking people, such as the guy that they're trying to put over the OMB, he is somebody that I question for sure about this Project 2025 agenda because he is one of the authors of Project 2025. I am trying to tell you that they don't care about the middle class. So number one, Democrats need to stop saying that we didn't have a middle class agenda. No, our middle class agenda has been taking care of people for a very long time. And I'm going to be clear, it's not just a middle class agenda, it is a poor folk agenda as well. So the idea that people right now are struggling, not knowing whether or not Head Start will actually be available so that they can go out and work. And then the next thing you know, we know that the Republicans are going to say, you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, even though you can't go to work and you want to go to work. I just tweeted not too long ago about the fact that our unemployment numbers are going to go up. We are headed for a full-on recession. And that is not me trying to be an alarmist. That is me trying to get you to pay attention. So most of you are wondering, what can you do? Well, what we should have done was on November 5th, but nevertheless, this is where we are. So what do we do next? Well, number one, there's a lot of organizations that have decided they are going to engage in litigation. We also need to be supportive of our attorney generals in the good states. The good states are the ones that have this all together. Now, the poor states haven't jumped in this. And frankly, if we get court rulings that benefit the whole country, those poor states like Mississippi, like Louisiana, the ones that rely on the states that bring in the money, like California, etc., then you know what? If y'all not trying to jump in the litigation, don't worry about getting your funding. We'll keep the funding in our states, the ones that have attorney generals that are actually working for the people. So where are we right now? We know that there's been lawsuits filed everywhere. There has been one district court judge as it relates specifically to him trying to stop these funds, okay? That judge has basically said, we're going to put a hold on this. We're not doing what you want to do on Monday, February 3rd, when everything is supposed to take effect. Now, the questions are like, what will it impact? Because they got their new little press secretary. She got up there. She lied through her teeth. She's just a good MAGA because only loyalists are allowed to be involved. She did not want to answer the questions. They said if it was benefits that go directly to the people, then the benefits will still go directly to the people. The reality is that when they put out the memo, it contradicted what she said. So who knows what all they are trying to go after. It does seem as if SNAP benefits will be on the cutting block. And again, you can go back and watch video footage of me talking about the fact that rural America uses more SNAP benefits than urban America, but urban America seems to get it right when it comes to voting. Rural America, I need you to wake up, because if for some reason you can't put food on your table, just know who you need to blame. In addition to that, there is a question about whether or not housing benefits are going to be under attack. From what I can tell, it looks like if you get a housing voucher, that it may be under attack. We also know that those that typically get rural electric assistance, as it relates to being able to pay those bills, as well as LIHEAP, it looks like those are going to be under attack as well. Let me just tell y'all something. He has a track record of bankruptcy. He has a track record of just not paying his bills. Right now, what he is trying to do is run the federal government the exact same way, in a fraudulent way where we don't pay our bills. So on March 14th, mark my words, I could be wrong, but I think we're going to end up shutting down the government. The problems that we keep seeing is that he is trying to test his power. He said that he was going to be a dictator on day one, and that's exactly what we are experiencing, because he decides that his power of the pen should overrule everything else. The reason that he is wrong, in my legal opinion, is that when it comes to appropriations, that is not something that the president does. It is something that the Congress does. The Congress has the power of the purse. What does that mean? That means that it has to go through 535 people before it makes it to the president's desk. And that is the only way that we literally take in your tax dollars from the various ways that we take in tax revenue. And then we redistribute that money in the various ways that we do. That has to go through Congress. He unilaterally believes that he can, with the stroke of a pen, say, never mind, we're going to undo that. A couple of issues with that. Number one, we have the power of the purse, not the president. Number two, that has already been signed into law. We have organizations that are relying on us. They have made contracts based on that. And so I personally think those organizations need to jump into some of this litigation, because they are relying to their detriment on what we promised them. That's yet more legal terminology. But he tried this when it came down to the Constitution. He believes that he can override the Constitution as well. And so that's why he's been pushed back by a Reagan Republican judge immediately, where they said you can't get rid of birthright citizenship. But I think that what he's trying to do is he is daring this Trump Supreme Court to cross him. Listen, all we need is some people with a backbone, and that's on both sides of the aisle. We need some Republicans.
I apologize. I went on a full fucking informative rant, and you guys didn't say any. You guys didn't hear any of it. Let me tell you something. I've already said that he's doing these things. All of these things are unconstitutional. Of course, they're going to the courts. Of course, what court are they going to? They're going to his Supreme Court that said that he can do whatever he wants and not even be prosecuted as long as he feels that he is within his presidential power. It's not about what he feels. It's what the law is about. So do you think they are going to allow him to do these things that he feels are within his presidential powers? Of course they are. And when they take these things to court, and they go all the way up to the Supreme Court, do you think this Supreme Court is going to allow them? This Supreme Court, who is so dirty, who have been being bought and paid by billionaires that have cases before them, and have been living the life of luxury off of these millionaires, and not millionaires, these billionaires. Do you think that they've already said that he cannot be prosecuted? One of the arguments when they were arguing if a sitting president can be prosecuted, one of the arguments was if the president decided to put a Navy SEAL team out to unalive his political adversary, would that be okay? This was argued in front of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court came back with a ruling that as long as the president feels that what he is doing is within his presidential power, yes, he can do it. With that argument on the table, yes, he can do it, and he does not have to consult anyone. He does not even have to consult his attorney general, the top cop in the land. He don't have to consult anyone. That's what that ruling meant. Okay, so are we going to pretend like we didn't see China come up? I talked about BRICS, Saudi Arabia, Russia, the UAI, all of these nations that have come together to trade with each other. Now we have Colombia, Honduras, all of these South American countries that are also being wooed. We saw the big catastrophe that happened between Colombia. We saw that Honduras is now saying, oh, y'all want to act like that? Well, y'all got military installations over here on our land that y'all ain't paid us nothing for. Y'all just sitting up here on our land. We're going to start charging you motherfuckers rent on our fucking land. So now they're being wooed by China, and China, this BRICS situation have way more people. The G7 union that United States in have about 0.5% of the people compared to what the number of people that are in BRICS. So are we going to pretend like we didn't see all of these billionaires being trotted out saying that they need between 80 and 100 billion dollars to advance this AI, with they are trying to get everybody excited for it? All of this, they need all this billions of dollars. What did China do? What China did was they came out with their own AI and they put it up for free. And you know how much it cost them to create this AI that is far better than this AI that these American tech bros are telling you that they need hundreds of $billions to create. The Chinese created theirs for $5.5 million. It's free and it's more advanced and it's better than what these tech bros are talking. You know, all these tech bros who were at the inauguration, you know, all these tech bros and billionaires who were at the inauguration that the common public could not attend, couldn't even watch from the street. All of these tech bros. Let's keep it real. Hey, Sincere, how you doing? Exactly. Exactly, Keisha. We were sleeping. Yeah, because I went on a whole rant and I came back and I was like, God damn it, I was on mute. I apologize for having you guys on mute that long. Uh Are we gonna pretend like we don't see any of this? Are we gonna pretend like when those three tech guys went to the White House, Elon Musk and another tech guy, they got into a fight, and then all of a sudden a public Twitter fight, and then all of a sudden who was expelled from the physical White House, and now his offices are going to be across the street in the Einstein building? Are we gonna pretend like um are we going to pretend like these tech people was blowing smoke up our ass about the value of what they were creating with this AI? They wanted us to believe that this shit was worth all of these billions. And are we going to pretend like Elon Musk is not one of the biggest welfare queens? I wonder, you know, they said that the 4547 has the discretion to say what funding can go through. Do you think any of that Elon Musk funds is going to have to fill out the paperwork of its merit, like the agency that's giving SNAP benefits? Do you think he's going to have to fill out this paperwork to continue to get his money from the government, while the fucking SNAP, WIC, and special ed teaching, nursery, pre-K, all of this type of benefits, Section 8 has to do to continue to get their money from the federal government? That, why do you think that it had a caveat that said that they can decide on a case by case basis if someone can continue to get their money? Who do you think gonna continue to get their money? It ain't gonna be you, but you motherfuckers. It ain't gonna be none of you motherfuckers who thought that it was a good thing to vote for him. Now, I was also talking, and all those people from China that came up with this new AI that is stronger, better, faster than all of this shit that these American people trying to put in. Let's not forget that they want all. I'm with Stump Down. Now Stump Down. What I heard him say that he was for 45, 47 because of the immigration issue. Now, if you have lived in a border state for many of years, you understand the importance of having secured borders. But are we just going to pretend like it's the people from South America who are coming here? Are we going to pretend like everyone who come here is a criminal, a gang member, is selling drugs? Are we going to pretend like that when we take taxes from all the people who are actually not here legally that pay into our taxes? And it's going to cost more to send them back than we gain from the taxes that they give us. Are we going to pretend like we're not going to miss our coffers are not going to miss the taxes that they pay, because the Lord knows the millionaires and billionaires don't pay none? Okay, so my point is, they pretend like it's all about border security. But what about all of those Asians that I showed you from China who were coming here through the southern border? These trips took cost about 15 to 25 million dollars. They did not need their visas to leave China because they went through Ecuador, I believe. They could take a flight through Ecuador without using their visas. And then they had Airbnb set up. They had actual cabs set up that would take them all the way from South America all the way to a gate where they climb through the gate in America. Now, let's talk about do you really want illegals out? Let's understand that these Chinese who made this new AI, they only used people who were educated in China. They did not want to risk any spies in their operation, any person that had any connections to the United States, because the United States was not sharing information. They had a freeze on this chip that these tech bros are using. They had a freeze. So China was like, well, we don't need your fucking chip. We're gonna do our own thing. And they built something better. Now, these are the same people, the United States, who are so stupid that they have these tech bros saying, well, we need to import people from India because the United States worker are not intelligent enough to be engineers at our company. So do you or do you not want immigrants in? And then they are actually selling you on the fact that these people are needed because they're more intelligent, at the same time that they talking about shuttering the Department of Education. Are we going to pretend like they acted like people with college graduates were such a bad thing during this election? Did we not hear Trump talk about uh 45, 47, talk about how he liked his unintelligent voters? Are we going to pretend like they downplayed how important education was, that you're going to these woke colleges and all of this type of stuff, like education was a bad thing? Now that these tech bros are in his ear, now it's okay to have immigrants from other country. So who is paying all of these Chinese who were flooding through the border gates, just walking through a fence? And they wasn't coming through like these people from South America with motherfucking tank tops and mismatched flip flop. No, these motherfuckers was coming in like they just got off a motherfucking flight with they rolling luggage and shit, and their coats and their jackets and looking good. Who paying for who do you think is paying for these people to come over to the United States? How come we don't see any of all of these raids? We don't see any of them being caught up in all of these raids, because surely they are here. Surely they know they are here. But we don't see none of them being caught up. And how did they take this leisurely, expensive trip to be here? Does big tech want? Are they working in big tech offices themselves? while they tell you that you too ignorant to get a degree where they're going to pay you a real living wage when they can exploit people from third world countries, have them living 7 to 8 in an apartment for free and working most of their days and nights at these companies against regular American labor laws. Something. See, that's what they don't want. They don't want to pay the American worker their worth, and they don't want to adhere to American labor laws. That's what they don't want. But see, these people are happy to get $70,000 and live in a house with 7 or 8 of them for free. Because making $70,000 and sending your money back to a third world country is far more better than having to live in a third world country and not being able to bring yourself and your family up. Let's keep it above. So let's continue. All right. Okay, I'm gonna give you the link so you can watch this Jasmine Crockett video if you want to peruse it one more time. And I'm gonna see what the chat is talking about. Now, I feel like that I'm repeating myself. I probably had to repeat myself because I was on mute. Hey, Queenie. Model minority. Girl, exactly. Okay. Okay. They actually brand the arms of people from that lost Thailand, Cambodia coming to this country. No, I didn't know that. Let me see. This is going to be a mess. Hey, Madam Scorpio. Now I talked to you about how disappointed that I am in our for-profit media. Uh, all the ABCs, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, who are kowtowing and not telling the American people what dire straits that these things have for us as a people. Let's be clear that they have predicted that within the first 180 days that the whole U.S. may be under what is it, under a lockdown because of civil unrest. And they have already made it possible for the United States military to be on the ground. Well, okay, I talked about that already. Okay, let me show you this. Now, you guys remember when Mika and Joe Scarborough went and bent the knee for 45, 47? Let me see. So, Jake Tapper from CNN is actually one of the most popular broadcaster on their channel. One of the most popular. He gets some of the biggest numbers, even though you guys understand that CNN and MSNBC and Fox News have been doing okay because they have those Civic fans over there, but they've been doing okay. But the ratings for CNN and MSNBC have been in the tank. CNN has announced that they are getting rid of 200 workers and they're revamping their anchors. So one of the most successful anchors who actually holds 45, 47 accountable, who actually tries to get the truth out, who actually asks the real questions that need to be asked. They don't want this corporate media is in on it. They are trying to lull people into a false sense of security to make you think that it's not that bad. That wasn't the hail sign that you saw Musk show display. No, all of this stuff isn't a part of a white supremacy agenda. They don't want these hard questions to be asked. So what did they do? They relegated what is his name? Oh, I was trying to say Joe Sprout. They relegated him to the midnight post. They took him from 10 in the morning and they stuck him in a midnight slot. So what happened then? What happened? What did Jake Tapper do then? So let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'll let you see Jake Tapper talk for himself. I don't know if you guys missed this morning, but let me make sure it's not on double speed. Okay. Let's hear what Jake Tapper had to say. Remember, he gets some of the best ratings on CNN. Okay.
But I want you to watch it yourself. Here it is. Let's play it.
Just wanted to end today's show by thanking all of the wonderful people who work behind the scenes at this network. You may have seen some reports about me and this show. And after giving all of this some careful consideration and weighing an alternative time slot CNN offered me, I've decided to move on. I am grateful to CNN for the nearly 18 years I've spent here doing the news. People often ask me if the highlight of my career at CNN was at the White House covering Donald Trump. Actually, no. That moment came here when I covered former President Barack Obama's trip to Cuba in 2016 and had the chance to question the dictator there, Raul Castro, about the island's political prisoners. As the son of a Cuban refugee,
I apologize. I kept saying Jake Tapper. That's Jim Acosta. You're right. I apologize. Go ahead. Let's continue.
I took home this lesson. It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant. I've always believed it's the job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN, and I plan on doing all of that in the future. One final message. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth and to hope. Even if you have to get out your phone, record that message. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear. Post it on your social media so people can hear from you too. I'll have more to say about my plans in the coming days, but until then, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It has been an honor to be welcomed into your home for all these years. That's the news. Reporting from Washington, I'm Jim Acosta.
It's been 2 years since that disaster struck. The city's population is now...
Okay, I dropped the link. There's some good commentary about this, him stepping down on this link that you guys should definitely watch. That's on the Midas Touch Network, one of the largest growing cable news. It used to be TYT until Cenk Uygur decided to bow his knee and start licking Republican behinds as well, and saying that, well, we need to understand them, and they're right on some things. Are they right on some things now? Are they right on some things now, Cenk? Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. There's something else I want you guys... I want to play a clip of this for you guys. Now, they're talking about this freeze as well. I think this is on Roland Martin's show. He actually has a guest host on. Let me see. Wait a minute. What is it? I apologize. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. This is where I want to pick up with. I'm just giving you this for some information. I'm going to drop the link. I just want to play a portion of this under fair use. Oh Lord. So you guys can hear this. Lord, I apologize.
Well, I think you already nailed it, right? We lost the messaging war on it in the first place. One, because we did not have a significant enough investment in media. When Martin talks about that on a regular basis, particularly black media, we didn't have a response to the thousands of hours that conservatives have put into their own media infrastructure. That's number one. But then number two, it's so easy to divide us, consume, even though we're being crushed by the decisions that are being made by the Trump administration. They assume that we're still going to go to the store. They assume that we're still going to buy, which is what we normally do. And if they can count on that, then they have terms. The truth of the matter is, it's so much damage.
Hold on. Oh, I can't believe. Okay, let's listen to this. I'm gonna find the point that I
is
had
going
here.
to be done between now and then if we are not able to be resilient and to withstand it, both in terms of the institutions and the structures and as individuals who are going to be suffering as a result of this, then it really won't matter as much. So we need to focus both on resilience as well as taking back power in 2026.
And Dr. Walker, we've seen he's firing the inspector generals. He's firing Justice Department officials. He's firing literally anybody who is in diversity, equity, and inclusion, including quote unquote secret diversity, equity, inclusion programs. He's saying that if you know somebody doing diversity, equity, and inclusion, if you don't snitch on them, you will be fired also. He's campaigned on, I want to make sure that we make eggs.
Okay, so I talked about that let me make sure my mic is on. I talked about how he is making people actually snitch and root these people out, tell us, or you gonna lose your job. We talked about this. This is a straight out of a Gestapo playbook. Do you remember they had to snitch on the Jews? Do you remember this? So we're gonna try to pretend like what we are seeing, we're not seeing. So did you hear your corporate media highlight and really say that this is going on with impact to let you know that what's going on in this administration is akin to what went on in World War II before that caused World War II? No, you don't hear this. You have to listen. I just really hope that you guys hit these links that I dropped for you. Subscribe to these people. I'm not dropping them. I don't think that I'm right on everything. I'm just saying that our media is failing us. We need to have this information. That's what I'm saying. So let's get into the things that is going to be impact.
Cheaper. And when he got in the door, he immediately launched this extreme agenda. When people say, how exactly can we fight back simply cutting the deficit? It's about wholesale changing America back. You're not deporting British students who overstayed their visa. You're not deporting engineers who are here from Norway who are here illegally but married. You're deporting brown people back across the border and building a wall there and threatening their governments with sanctions if they allow their people to come back across. So when we talk about what's going to happen in this country, it's very clear that, and Elon Musk has talked about this deeply, about Western European and American birth rates declining to the point that they know they will be a minority, not just in the United States, but globally within the next 50 years. And how do you fix that? Put 10 million people out the country, you annex Canada, you annex Greenland, you make it more difficult for African Americans to have the economic wherewithal to build a community, to build families, to support one another. And then you were able to create that same Leave It to Beaver, and you have made America great again functionally. So I want you to kind of clarify to people exactly what this whole plan is. That is deeper than simply cutting the budget. It's deeper than simply cutting the deficit.
Another thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, if you hadn't or watched my show previously, we found out that Vivek father has never filed for citizenship in the United States. So they want to eliminate birthright citizenship. So then, shouldn't Vivek be on being interviewed by Dr. Phil in handcuff on these raids? Because wouldn't that make him what they love to call an anchor baby to the United States? Let's be clear. He said out of his own mouth. If you watch my boring channel, you will hear the interview where he said that his mother hadn't filed for citizenship until after he was born. So surely that would make him an anchor baby. So why isn't he being marched out of the country? What is he doing now? He's running for the governor of Ohio. He shouldn't be hard to find. If you really, but he is one of the people who made a whole big paragraph talking on X talking about the American worker is not intelligent. The American people would rather big up. He used Stefan from Family Matters than Steve Urkel, because he's such a nerd that he's so insecure that he has to say that America likes the cool kid. Well, cool kids, there are some very intelligent people who are still also cool, but he's so insecure in his whole nerdiness. We got statements that the White House got sick of having him around. He wore out his welcome. He was too needy and nerdy for them. And so now he got bounced out of the White House. But I thought that they wanted to suspend birthright citizenship. Do they or don't they? Do they or don't they? Or do they just want to have cheap labor and to put us in a place like you just heard? Let's continue. But they don't have a place to put us. Let's not forget that we are the ones who physically built this country. We are the ones who mentally built this country with all of our inventions that we made. What do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. So since we were doing all the work, that is the reason why so many patents were granted to Black people. So many patents that were very successful were granted to Black people. However, the white man gonna do what the white man do, and a lot of these people that have patents have gone unrecognized about all of the fucking inventions that they have created that are still used today, that no white mind has improved upon. But they get absolutely zero credit. Let's continue. But they have a place for us.
It's about wholesale changing America back to that utopian vision of a European settler colony with manifest destiny from sea to shining sea. The nation of, as Jefferson said, small farmers, and what he meant was plantations, where now you have the Latinos being gone, the immigrant labor being gone, and guess what the new Black jobs are going to be now that they're no longer going to have to enforce diversity, equity, inclusion programs. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and it also the prison population. So we also have to pay attention to how many more of us that they will try and incarcerate to be able to fill those jobs and not pay folks to do the work or pay pennies on the dollar, if you will. I mean, we just got to understand, Roland often talks about white fear, talk about the browning of America, and that's exactly what it is. They understand that this is one of the last opportunities to be able to structurally change how America operates and who has power inside of America. If you take a look over the last 20 years, even though we know we still had a long way to go, there was some slight shifting in power. The Black middle class was growing, even though we still have a number of brothers and sisters who have not yet been able to find the path yet to be able to do that. But still, they saw that. They saw that we were making sure that, sisters and brothers were getting more educated and being able to create their own businesses, even though we had to navigate, the labyrinth of things that you.
Okay, I hate that I lost my spot. I think this is right here what I really wanted you guys to hear.
Voters, particularly Black male, we talk about Black men, in putting wrong information out there about, whatever other, group you want to talk about, and that somehow Black men are benefiting. So economically, this goes to my point earlier that we have to be able to reinvest in our communities so we can counter a lot of propaganda and create our own platforms by providing, actual truthful information. Then let's talk about it. Like VP Harris had a very clear program in terms of issues that benefit Black men. But some brothers didn't vote for it. They voted against their best interest.
Now, how many dumb Black men have you even saw around these platforms talking about they would not vote for Harris? Let's continue. I'm just giving you bits and pieces of what's going on in this live.
Eliminate diversity programs in corporations. We already saw the Supreme Court struck down diversity in universities. Where do you think the logical end to this is with these attacks? We're always seeing companies like John Deere, Target, McDonald's, Walmart scaling back or destroying their DEI programs. Where do you think this ends?
So I don't know if that's a good question to ask me, because I've been studying these white Christian devils for a long time. And I know that it's on their radar for violence in our communities against Black people specifically. They're creating the framework, they're creating the arguments, they're creating a new level of dehumanizing Black people. They are regarding all of us as rapists and degenerates, just like they are doing to the immigrants. So if you ask me, the logical endpoint for this is that there is a segment.
And let's understand that they, let me make sure my mic is on. Let's understand that there are also us trying to make it appear that even us who are working, even us who have risen through the ranks on our job, it's not by our merit. It's because we're DEI hires. It's never on the merit. Do you hear that they? Listen, you hear that they are going through all of the generals that are in the service with this non-general motherfucker that they just put over the Department of Defense, this fucking simple sycophant of 45, 47. Who is he to say what general is not qualified when he's never qualified to be a general? These generals who have these long histories in the service, that they're going to make sure that they're in their position because of their merit, and if they're not, we're going to kick them out. They're going to take their rank. Are we clear on this? Are we really clear on this? Okay, let's continue. I got to do some breaks.
Of MAGA that won't be satisfied until they have us back in the position of oppression, outright oppression, not just economic, not just spiritual or emotional, but outright oppression. That's what they're doing. And they're making it evident that they don't care about the separation of the federal government and the state government, or even the markets. They don't even recognize the markets of capitalism. They're trying to constrain Costco from doing what it has a right to do. And they're trying to put pressure on through force. And so they don't want any resistance of any kind. They can't have any outlier. So I'm sure they're going to go after Ben and Jerry's next. Why? Because they are totalitarian. What does that mean? They absolutely don't expect anyone to get out of line. And if you dare step out of line, they will use all the force of the federal government, even to the point, I believe, that they will use literal force of the military to do whatever they have to do to keep people in line. That's if we allow it. That's if people kowtow, if people start backing down and people start showing that they don't have any spine right now, at this moment, while we still have some laws left. If Costco folds like Google folded and decided to name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, if more corporations begin to fold out of cowardice, then we will see fascism is here much sooner than we thought it would ever get here.
And Mustafa, on that point, you know, we back in 2020, all these corporations had all those ad campaigns after we burned up a bunch of cities, and they said, well, we love y'all Black folks. You know, we're going to invest $20 billion into equality. It's all the commercials where all the happy Black people. Every commercial you see now has a Black woman and a happy white man sitting on the couch eating Cheerios all the time. You know, they said that they really loved us as a people. Everybody remembers that, right? And now, as soon as they get the opportunity, as soon as the money special interests are behind it, as soon as Donald Trump has his inauguration with a literal row of billionaires, Elon Musk, $400 billion. Jeff Bezos, $270 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, $200 billion. The dude from Google, the dude from TikTok, trillions of dollars standing right there. And they were sending a very clear message to every corporation in America. You do not have the money to compete with us. The federal government is the largest consumer in the world market. So the federal government simply says, we're going to stop using Ford vehicles as our fleet vehicles, and we're going to use Teslas as our fleet vehicles. Ford will be bankrupt tomorrow. They would have absolutely no ability to.
Okay, so I've dropped that link for you, and now Hey, Lexi Lex. I enjoyed your content no matter what. I appreciate you. That's why I never allowed my Black children to join any form of the military for this effed up country. Okay. Thanks. Thank the Black man who stomped for Trump, and he has not one nigga. He does have one, and Miss Detroit. Miss 313, I did show his whole cabinet, and of course he does have one. Miss, don't nobody else but Miss 313 answer this. He does have one in his administration, Miss 313. Where do you do you think that he is over, Miss 313? He has one black person in his cabinet. While I wait for your answer, I want to show you how. I want to show you one more thing. Let me see. Miss 313, can you tell me? No, HUD. Of course, he's over HUD. You know, HUD. He's over HUD. That is over Section 8, and they've already been talking about getting rid of HUD as a whole, as a whole entity within itself. Because if we're gonna put somebody over something where we're gonna take their jobs, surely it's gonna be a Negro. Yes, just like Ben Carson. Yes, his name is Scott Turner. Turner. Thank you. It's a black job. Okay. Thank you, Miss Queenie. Now, you guys also need to know how they are really trying to get in and break down unions and labor relations. Okay. Now, if you watch my boring channel, you will understand that in the past, when America was great, uh, uh, employers did not have to pay overtime. Employers did not have to give you breaks. Employers could use and abuse you, make you work all these extra hours for straight pay, could steal from your check. So when these things called unions start springing up and getting protections for the workers, your employer did not have to give you a pay raise over any period of time. So these things that they call unions, they sprang up and they protected the workers. So let's see what he is also doing. See, remember, I got a graph for you. Remember on my graph what it said that was a part of Project 2025 agenda? Let me put my graph up for you. We have 127 days left in his first 180 days where he it was supposed to make all of these changes. You may see here that one of the changes that he was supposed to also make, where is it? It is no fault divorce, complete ban on abortion, ban contraceptive, add tax breaks for corporations and 1% higher taxes for working class, elimination of unions and worker protections. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's number 6 on this list. So let's see what they're doing to actually enact this part of Project 2025. Yes, they are quite busy. There are more checklists that should be added to this list that have been done and done. So if you guys are not familiar with this channel, you definitely want to familiarize yourself with this channel. Okay, let me remove this picture. I'm using this as a part of fair use and news reporting. Okay, let's listen about what he's doing for job protections. Okay, let me. I haven't seen this myself, unfortunately, so I may skip through it a little bit. I'm going to drop the link. Status quo. Please join this page, or just hit the link and see if it's a page you're interested in joining. It's a very informative
Watch how
page.
coconut oil
Hold
affects
on.
belly fat. Is coconut oil?
Let me wait. Okay. I was trying to get the link. Hold on. Let me get the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. If you're not up on them, you may want to get up on them. Hey Keena, how are you? I love that you share the graph for the slow holes in the back. Because, listen, not for nothing. This is some real shit that's going on right now. This is a real agenda. I prior to the election, you heard Jasmine Crockett saying that they have clips of them interviewing the the person who they want over the MBO. So we're not going to pretend like I haven't played this for you. The Office of Management and Budget, he is a actual author of some of the things in Project 2025. The MBO is responsible for this government freeze, and he has not even been approved yet. It's the fill in until he gets, or whoever gets approved to be over the Office of Management and Budget. So the MBO is the one who's freezing all of these government funds, and the one who they wants to put over. Let me make sure my mic is on. Over the MBO is a Project 2025 author. That's why I'm trying to make the shit make sense. I don't know everything, but let's check this out about the workers. Okay.
And a threat to big corporations. And, Bezos and Elon Musk and the rest of them really want to destroy our labor movement. They want to destroy the New Deal, and they want to return us back to the Gilded Age.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up. Hey, it's Jordan. Happy to be joined by Seth Goldstein, labor attorney who represented members of Amazon workers during their original union fight. And I wanted to talk to you because it looks like before breakfast, President Trump is purging the National Labor Relations Board. It seems illegally, from what I could tell. You would be able to tell me better. He has fired General Counsel Abruzzo, who many have said has been the best and most pro-worker NLRB counsel in a long time. We'll get to her in a minute. But even more controversially, he has now removed NLRB member Gwyn Wilcox, who I believe it is illegal for the president to just remove NLRB members. And now that she is
Okay, so many of the things that he has done has been illegal. That's why there are going to be so many court cases. There are so many court filings about a lot of these things that he's done. But let's be real about it. He's going to appeal these things up into the Supreme Court. Is the Supreme Court who gave him all rights going to even take these cases? Of course they are, in my opinion. Are they going to rule in his favor? Of course they are, in my opinion. But let's continue. Okay. So he don't give a fuck what is illegal against the Constitution. He don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Let's continue.
He has been removed. The NLRB does not have a quorum to make decisions. Let me just read her statement. This is NLRB board member Gwyn Wilcox. It's been an honor to serve as board member and chair of the National Labor Relations Board. As the first Black woman board member, I brought a unique perspective that I believe will be lost upon my unprecedented and illegal removal. Although I'm very disappointed to not be able to serve out my Senate-confirmed term ending in August 2028, I'm proud of the work I've done to enforce
the first, what kind of woman? Black woman. And when was her term due to be over? Her Senate-confirmed term, 2028. Why do you think this woman was fired? Illegally. Oh, okay. So, I think... Ciao.
National Labor Relations Act, which protects the rights of employees to act collectively and the responsibility of employers to respect that right. Throughout my time at the NLRB, I've worked well with my colleagues and the dedicated career staff who uphold the mission of the agency. I'll be pursuing all legal avenues to challenge my removal, which violates longstanding Supreme Court precedent. Seth, you tell me. I see a cause and effect between the big tech vultures that were in the second row at inauguration, two of whom have pursued legal avenues to make the NLRB unconstitutional.
Okay, so why would two of whom want to make the NLRB unconstitutional? I already told you how they like to work these people that come from other countries who are more intelligent than us. They like to work them like indentured servants, because they are indentured servants, because if they don't work for them, if they get fired, they must go back to their country. So they already have a hook in them that they can work them in that way for little of money. allegedly $70,000 for these engineers that they tell you. They're paying the engineers that on these projects that they tell you that they need between 10, what was it? Between 80 and $100 billion to create their little AI thing. And what did China do? They got it done for a better AI thing done for 5.5 million, not billion, $1 million. Why they're telling you these fat cats that don't even want to pay their workers, who try to tell you that it's easier for them to get an immigrant from a third world country because y'all too stupid. So y'all too stupid at the same time that they're I'm repeating myself. Closing down the Department of Education. That is, who do they have over the Department of Education? Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon, who at the time, are they going to confirm her? Because there's a little pesky thing, a pesky lawsuit that some of the young men have filed against the WWE or WWA or whatever it's called, against the wrestling thing that she is part owner of, about them being SA'd by a lot of the people who are with that agency. So did the national media talk to you about this? While she is up to dismantle our public education system, what was her qualifications to even be over the Department of Education? Could it be her millions of dollars that she poured into 45-47's campaign? Is that like what they call one of them loyalists? Do you think that she has even the wherewithal to fight back with closing the Department of Education, to fight back about things that are helpful about the department? No, I don't think so. I that's just my personal opinion. But let's continue. I'm off on a rant. Let me continue.
And Trump doing this.
I'm not surprised. We've been talking about this since 2022, since the JFK 8 election, when the right wing was trying to discredit the NLRB and trying to use their legal financial power to squelch workers' voice. And then with Elon Musk, you had the SpaceX case, you had Trader Joe's attempting to use Morgan Lewis. A lot of this has to do with Morgan Lewis, right? Morgan Lewis devised this SpaceX.
And Morgan Lewis is a
union busting law firm, yeah. And they also were involved with Amazon as well. So we knew that this was coming. We had talked about this as part of their legal strategy to say that the NLRA, is unconstitutional because
if feet are numb in the sense.
Hold on, let me get past this commercial. I don't know why these people have all these commercials. Syit, I do. Let's continue.
The NLRA, is unconstitutional because the president could fire board members and administrative law judges. You see, this is just the beginning of the purge. They're going to now fire administrative law judges that don't agree with them. They're going to fire board members. This is not a legal issue. This is a get to the street issue, because our democracy is going away. It is illegal, but that Trump doesn't care.
Well, what we consider, or what seems clearly illegal, I mean, there were people who said, "Oh, don't worry, Supreme Court, they're not going to rule in favor of him in terms of presidential immunity," and then they did. So, although it's on the books illegal, it is his goal, you think, to move this up to the conservative Supreme Court, and they possibly can find the National Labor Relations Act, which, if you could tell the audience more, that's from the 20th century that set up the NLRB.
Yes, I do. I think that that's the goal here. And this has been what the union busters and the anti-union law firms have been talking about since Trump was elected, that on his first few days, he would fire a board member. And he's done that now. And it is illegal. But again, we can't count on the Supreme Court saving democracy. We only have ourselves. And this is an issue, along with all the other horrific things he's done in the past few days, for people to go out on the streets and to resist. I know that there's from some point of view, they say, well, we should be acting towards everything. But this is how Hitler got the Enabling Act, destroyed German democracy in a matter of weeks. And
Okay. So was I being hyperbolic when I said that this is actually the same way that Hitler came into power? Do you understand? Do you understand that I'm just not saying these things? These are this is the actual blueprint that was used in Germany. I'm not kidding you guys. But unfortunately, when people start to feel it, it's going to be, in my opinion, I believe that it's going to be a whole lot of anarchy in the streets. See, because some people are still don't even understand what has been dealt with them at this moment. They'll probably try to talk about it ignorantly talk about it and say what is or was it. They're gonna try to hide their heads in the sand, like, oh well, I don't know. We'll see what happened, type of shit. We already know what's happening. There is no. You should have been trying to see what was gonna happen when y'all was sitting up here giving this motherfucker accolades, trying to act like you knew any of these policies and couldn't even name any of the policies. He couldn't name any policies that he had set forth when he was running. But I told you, and many other people told you that he didn't have to, because Project 2025 had already wrote down what the policies were. Let's continue a little bit further.
And this seems to be the path that Trump is doing, and it's up to us to stop this. Workers too, I think, destroyed German democracy and should be acting towards everything. But this is how Hitler got the Enabling Act, destroyed German democracy in a matter of weeks. And this seems to be the path that Trump is doing, and it's up to us to stop this. Workers too, I think. The labor movement, our labor movement, needs to be putting on their marching boots and getting out there, and pushing Hawley, who was supposedly the guy that the Teamsters thought was going to save the day.
Senator Josh Hawley.
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't worked out very well, and Cotton and some of these other Republicans. But this is a political issue, and this is an issue for mass democracy. We will make the arguments in court, but this is exactly what the Trump administration and the anti-union people want us to do, is to make this into a constitutional issue.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. He's doing all this unconstitutional stuff. He don't care that you're taking it to court. The court said that he can do whatever he wants to do. I dropped the link for you. I haven't been able. This guy talks so slow. He's so. I guess he's just defeated. I don't know.
We shouldn't fall for the bait.
And I want to point out, he's doing, and bigger picture, I mean, there hasn't been this level of support for labor unions in probably decades. This poll, 70% of Americans express approval for labor unions towards the end of last year. I'd like.
A dictator doesn't want to allow people to have the right to organize and speak out at work. It's antithetical to what dictators want. And that's why Elon Musk was involved in shutting down an NLRB suit by 9 women that were discriminated against and harassed sexual discrimination. And so the question we have to ask ourselves is, and I've been asking it for a long time, how to react to this. And it's always been my opinion that this should not be treated as a labor issue. I mean, as a legal issue. It's a labor issue, and it's a democracy issue. And again, there's all these other things that he's done in the last 2 days, like freezing federal grants and.
This is the only heating.
Okay. So I dropped the link for you. You guys can finish that at your leisure. I'm just trying to give you information that I found. Let me play this one more time. I know you guys have heard me play this, but I want to play this one more time for you. Let me see. Let me play this one for you.
Great ideas.
These terrible ideas sound. On the page after that, it calls for rescinding an executive equity. On the next page, America Great Again is about making America white only again. On the first page of Chapter 18, Project 2025 complains about how the Biden administration has been fighting for racial equity. On the next page, it calls for eliminating data collection on race and ethnicity in employment. On the page after that, it calls for rescinding an executive order signed in 1965 that prohibits discrimination in hiring by contractors. Mr. Berry, do these terrible ideas sound familiar?
They're great ideas.
These terrible ideas.
Okay, so you heard what she said, and I talked earlier about the federal contractors being able to be discriminated against, and this is the author of that chapter of Project 2025. She's questioning people about Project 2025. Let's be clear. So this is way before the election. And when 45, 47 was acting like, "Ooh, I don't even know what that is. What is Project? I don't know what Project 2025 is." Yet his name appeared in the Project 2025 playbook over 330 times, but he had no idea what it was. He's very chummy with the Heritage Foundation's president, Kevin Roberts, but he's spoken at the Heritage Foundation many a times, but he don't know what that is. Let's continue.
Sound familiar? Of course they do. You came up with them. Mr. Berry, I find it shameful to advance a vision attacking the very policies and agencies that have helped Black Americans secure jobs, earn a living, and provide for our families. This Project 2025 plan is policy violence, plain and simple. Its authors have placed such a large target on the EOC because of the incredible work the EOC is doing today. Last year alone, the agency filed more than 27,000 charges of race-based discrimination. These workers and their families have a pathway to justice, accountability, and healing because of the policies and regulations that Project 2025 is trying to get rid of. Ms. Wiley, how would workers be harmed by Project 2025's commitment to undermining crucial protections that are enforced?
Okay, so we know that even the people who were able to get cases through, he has blocked civil rights departments. If you were able to sue, if you are waiting on a settlement, he has blocked the civil rights division from doing any work. So all of this is true. This is what is happening in these United States of America. A lot of people are just living in a fantasy world, living in an absolute fantasy world. So now I started my live off this morning telling you of these 100 and off of that 180-day playbook. This morning we had 172 days left in this 180 days. So you guys can try to guess what day that we're gonna blow up like a powder keg. Will it be before or after this first 180 days? I can't even see at this point. I cannot even see America making it to this 180 days before there is. They thought that these they want to call these George Floyd protest riots. They thought that those were riots. I don't see anything good coming out of this anytime soon. And I've done a live telling you that you need to prepare your home. You need to prepare yourself because I don't want to try to use scare tactics or anything, but if you don't even prepare your home for the next natural disaster that come out, you would be remiss in doing what it takes to take care of yourself. So I'm just saying, right now is the time to take care of yourself. Right now is the time to make sure that you have cash on hand just in case things go awry. Right now is to have the time to have batteries, generators, all of the things that you would need just in case any type of grid goes out, any type of water system goes out. I implore of you to do what it takes to prepare yourself, because these other people have been preparing themselves for decades. They not going to feel no pain. I just don't want you to feel the unnecessary pain about sitting around having your head stuck in the ground and not acknowledging what we are facing here. I know it's uncommon. I know it's weird. You know, our grandparents used to prepare. They used to can things and everything, lard, put meat away in the, what you call that thing? Put away meat. They always was prepared because they knew that it was going to be long winters and hard working summers. They worked so hard in the summer to make sure that they had things to put away for the winter to survive on. It's time for us to understand that this is survival time, and we you have to need you a transistor radio, not a transistor. What is that radio? I think, what is that radio? Not a transistor. Make sure you get you a radio that you will be able to catch any emergency news that comes out. I'm not trying to scare anybody. You need these things if you're living in the United States, where we have all of these regular natural disasters. It was just snowing in Houston. How many people were stuck inside in Houston? Now imagine if the internet went down. Imagine if the water went down and you didn't know it for 3 days because you don't flush your toilet for 3 days like another person in the beef sector. You don't even know. You just have one piece of curled up green bologna in your sandwich, in your refrigerator. You don't want to be caught off guard. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got for you. I'm just trying to give you information. Okay, I'm going to drop my link just in case anybody would like to come up and talk about anything at all. If you agree, if you disagree, come up and talk about it. Let me see. Copy. Let me paste the link. You're more than welcome to come up, but if not, you can only do so much. Exactly. Okay. The smart people are going to listen because I appreciate and respect you are trying. Don't stop, Ronnie Q. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to give the information that I have run across in my travels. I don't run across this information in my travel on corporate for bought and sold media. So I'm just giving you the things that I found. Maybe you found something that's different. Maybe you heard something that's different. But I just found that it was so ironic that I shouted out the warning that they were about to end Section 8. And then after I get off my live this morning, I find out about this federal freeze, which will in fact freeze a whole lot of programs, including Section 8. And it's just why am I talking about Section 8 so much? You're not on Section 8, Ronnie Q. Why are you talking about it so much? Because I hear the leisure foolishness of a lot of these people who are actually on Section 8, who never talks about real world events and how these real world events are going on that is going to blow their fucking lives. They're in their Tesla all the time doing lives. Bitch, you may be sleeping in your Tesla. You guys heard me talk about the working poor that sleep in their cars. There's so many videos on YouTube you can find about people who are actually working, employed, and have to live and sleep in their cars because they can't afford to pay any rent. So if they can't afford to pay any rent, What if they take away Section 8? You already got people who working, and I believe their jobs disqualify them from getting Section 8. I don't know. But what if they take away Section 8? Can you imagine all of the people? I sleeping in my Tesla. Are you going to be able to get cash apps for your rent? It's rent time, babes. Babes, it's rent time. Members, it's rent time. If everybody just send me $1 cash app, I'll get it. So are you subscribers are not going to be going through hard times as well? But you can get niggas up here talking about dumb shit all day, all night long. It's just amazing to me. The most affected have the dumbest shit to say. Well, maybe that's why they're most affected. That's on them. One of the people in the back. Listen. I just came. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. I just came to give you guys a little information, because what's going on is very scary. Hold on. I have somebody's in the bag. They in the bag. Somebody's in the bag. Hold on. Hello.
Is anyone home?
Hey, girl. What's going
girl,
on?
are you home?
I'm home.
Oh, you're home. How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm over here to fellowship with you, sister.
I was just about to get off. Did you hear any of my commentary?
Listen, I had just swung in and I heard you educating and informing us about world things that are going on. You said a very important part. You said that people get on here and they just bullshit all day and they don't really focus on the real issues. I appreciate your channel for that. I don't get by here every morning, but I love what you do. I think we need more, and no shade, we need more seasoned people to inform the younger generation.
But bitch, get on and start informing, because you got some little salt and pepper on your ass too. No shade. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Y'all hear that? She thought I was gonna let that go.
No, but seriously, I love what you do over here. I noticed that, you get a lot of backlash, but that's the thing. When you have a voice and you're using it, you're utilizing it for its purpose. Not everybody's going to agree, but I appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
I said keep doing it, because sometimes it's stories that we're not aware of. So when you bring them up, then it's very knowledgeable.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you listening. You can hit the red ball. You can go back. You can listen at me 2 times speeds. I always drop the links to the alternative news that I get. You don't have to agree with it. I just try to give you the information and let you think on it. So
Yes. I wanted to thank you. I wanted to speak on this situation with with Trump coming into office. I think a lot of people kind of discarded Project 2025 and they thought that it was a whole gimmick. And it was the rhetoric that, was going on through this political situation. Now, I want you to tell me if this makes sense. They're saying, this transgender, we're putting a band on it. You're going to have to go to the man's restroom. I want you to know this. Transgender women in the bathroom, there are going to be kids in there. What message do you think that that's going to give to them? That was just something that I just want to lay out as a conversation, but it seems like that's the driven fact that's got people's panties in a bunch.
Well, that's a fact that has what is her name? Tulsi Gabbard. Is it Tulsi Gabbard? It's the one who wanted to take Jasmine Crockett outside. She brings up the trans issue every time, because for the first time there has been an elected trans congresswoman. Did you know that?
Yes, she's transgender. Isn't she wasn't she over like health or something?
I don't know if she was over health. No, she just got elected this term. So she's a new congresswoman. And this bitch was always talking about trans, and don't want her to go in the women's bathroom when there are so many other issues. But this is an issue that they are able to raise money on. So every time she brings up that issue, she puts out a fundraiser email, and she's raising money on that. So she has made that her first and foremost issue because she gets money from bringing that up. That's what it's about.
Oh, so it's a ploy for donations, and because Jasmine Crockett said that's the only thing that she does know how to do. She don't correct any laws or anything like that.
Exactly. And they all do that. And all of these, what do they call them? We don't want to identity politics. They say that Democrats are always about identity politics just because they may talk about something that's discriminational. Oh, we're not going into these identity politics, but look at all of these identity politics that they are into. Now, Project 2025, he has already signed an executive order that there will only be 2 recognized sexes. Did you know that? Male and
Yes, ma'am.
female, and they are not interchangeable, and they can be not you cannot have an operation to get rid of them. Also, what I heard yesterday that was like totally fucking pissed me off, that a new Department of State, Pete Hedgewich, who was a weekend contributor on Fox News. He couldn't even hold a weekly show. He was one of many who was on Fox News. He's over the military now and the Pentagon with an $850 million budget when he so mismanaged the budget um of these veterans affairs places that he worked prior in the past that had employees of about 15 to 20, and now the military has over 3 million employees that he's going to have to be over with a $850 billion budget. They had to have for forensic accountants to come in and see how badly that he had fucked up the books in his last jobs at these veteran affairs. So he says that he's going to make sure everybody's there on merit. He had previously said that no women should be in the military at all, especially in combat, but they still put him in. He has an issue, his issue about the essay and paying
But
$50,000.
he's reconsidering that. Trump, I think I seen an article last night. He's reconsidering transgenders being in the military.
But but that's not up to Trump. That's up to the person that he has put in. That is not up to Trump and Congress and makes laws. He does not make laws. See, that's one of the problems right there. That he think that he can just make laws. He does not make laws. That's not his job. So Pete Sedgwick said that last night on an interview. No, that wasn't Pete Sedgwick. He said that there's no place for transgenders. What is that senator with the eye patch? But he said that he was formerly in the military, and he said that there's no place for transgender people in the military. He said that you guys can come back and call you if you're Patrick one day, and you can come back and call yourself Patricia the next day. But the fact that you would actually go out and get the operation to have the surgery means that you're not fit for surgery, because how can you have such a heavy surgery and then be ready for surgery? This is a motherfucker sitting up there with one eye, because I was a soldier and I was soldier ready. And if you mean to tell me that they're gonna let people go on their take leave of absence or use their sick time to go get these operations, they're not gonna be ready for the military. What makes you I'm retired because of my injuries in the service. But he's going to tell you guys that you're not fit to serve because you've had an operation. So are we going to tell people who has operations on their gallbladder, if they have a cancer treatment, are they also not able to serve? Anybody who have any type? No, they're not going to do any of that. It's a bunch of it is what it is. A lot of
Rhetoric.
people didn't vote. A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't vote. A lot of people voted for him. That's where we at with it now. A dumb shit. A whole lot of dumb shit. People telling you who can and cannot, should and should not be where, should and should not get what. So,
Yeah.
I
Let me
talked
ask you
about
this.
all the gay issues that were in Project 2025. And what the person who was overriding the gay issues in Project 2025 said most other nations have it correct. They throw them in jail, the gays in jail. I talked about that prior to the
Yeah.
election.
Well, they do that over in Jamaica. It's not really accepted. The Caribbeans, it's not accepted, or you like have to be on the DL. But I was gonna ask you about what was I gonna ask you about? Oh, okay. So when it comes to women's rights in your body and things like that, how do you feel about these laws being passed for like some women, they can't get abortions? I know I had saw like in Texas, this woman, she was pregnant, but I think something was going on, but she needed that abortion, but that law was in place and she ended up going to glory. What are your thoughts about people losing their lives
It's
due to
horrible.
these laws?
It's been several women. Texas, Georgia. I think another woman lost her life. A woman lost her life in Indiana because they would not give. They let them get septics because the doctors were so afraid to treat them for the treatment that they needed. They needed their wombs scraped. That one woman in I think she was in Georgia. One woman, she had done had a taking the pill, and all of the fetus hadn't come out of her womb. It's so bad that you just have to try to even self abort in the first place. So some of the fetus was left in her. All they had to do was go in and scrape her uterus to make her okay, but they were afraid to do that. They were afraid that they were going to lose their license and go to jail if they do that. See,
Because that
that's
was what, Miss Ronnie Q, that was considered what?
that would be considered
An
helping
abortion.
her have an abortion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was a life and death situation. Her
And
life was on the line, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, some people some states don't even give an exception for the mother's life. Some states don't it's no exception. So
Get into this. Did you
what
know Carolina, now a woman can be executed. You try to go and terminate.
I didn't know
Yes.
anything.
Look that up.
Get the
Yeah.
life sentence, get a death sentence is what you're saying?
Yes.
I
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now, what I think about women's rights, if you don't want to have an abortion, if you're against abortion, don't have an abortion. Let me. Did you hear about this Mississippi congressman? I believe. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm still with you.
there's a Mississippi congressman that enacted a Bradford Blackman. Did you hear about Bradford Blackman? A lawmaker, introduced the contraception begins at erection law. Black
Hold on.
man.
Run that back one more time, Miss Ronnie.
Contraception begins at erection act. What he has in this law is Mississippi State Senator, a Democrat, introduces a bill this week that would seemingly ban men from masturbating or engaging in any other sexual acts when they have no intent to fertilize an embryo. And see, if these laws were really on the books for them, if they said that you cannot have what is that when they cut your
A vasectomy.
vasectomy, would they still feel the same way because you're not using your seed to impregnate a woman? Okay, so the bill titled would make it unlawful for a person to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo. It includes exceptions for sperm donation and using contraception to prevent fertilization, which means you cannot even use a condom. Your seed is supposed to only be spilled to make a baby. So this is a bill that he put forward. Of course, it's not going to pass, but he said he put this bill forward because it shows the hypocrisy in these people who want to make decisions on women's lives. So I'm gonna copy and paste that and put that link in there. You guys can check that article out.
Yeah, please do. I would love to read about that. I did not hear about that, but this is
Yes,
my
girl.
thing. Sounds like population control to a certain extent, right?
Well,
Because
it's of course
yeah,
it's population control because they're if you are you gonna go back in my live and they said that they're afraid that the white population is going to diminish by the year of 2055 across the world. So this is definitely population control. Let's not forget that Bill Gates is big on population control. He tries to say that Africa is so overcrowded now when in fact Africa has more land mass than North, South America, uh, Europe, Spain, all of these other nations. Africa has more land mass, but Bill Gates will get you to think that Africa is overpopulated.
but why do you think China is buying up so much of Africa?
Because of all the
Because of
mineral wealth
what you just said.
and because no, because of all the mineral and the wealth that they're digging out of the ground in Africa. That's why China is buying up Africa. They're not buying up Africa. They are
Money
making
hungry
agreements.
MFers.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
making agreements with the leaders in Africa to go in on a ruse of that they're going to improve the African condition. You know, they have neighborhoods in Africa that no black people are allowed to do anything but be servants in. They can't buy the property, anything. They've showed uh, experts, they've heard experts, they've had videos, excerpts of these Asian men over there beating these Africans because they weren't working hard enough. They are exploiting the Africans, and only a few of the top are getting rich. So that's why they're doing it.
Listen, send me some information on that. These are the conversations that really get me going. I'm really enjoying this, and usually I don't um really voice myself like I should, but here, thank you for giving me the space.
Yeah, but
Um,
the reason why I came out today is because of this freeze on government spending that he announced. It's going to impact a lot of people who don't pay attention. A lot of the even Section 8. A whole lot of people who have kids with special needs, you know, in this sector, there are a lot of needs children who will not be getting their funding. And these people are running around like a chicken with their head cut off, not knowing what is coming down the pike for them. And I had
can I
warned
speak on
about it
something right quick with
yesterday.
that?
Go ahead.
Go out and get you some rice, get you some things that you can stretch and stuff like that. Y'all need to start stocking up on about 2 or 3 months worth of food. I don't
Girl,
care if you have to go to the food bank. I don't care what you have to do. If you have to load that deep freezer up, but and even get you some chickens or start growing your food. I know soon as the weather's right here, I garden. I'm gonna start back growing my food, and I want to motivate and inspire everybody out here. If you can, I don't care if you have to try to grow inside.
hmm
Start growing your own food, babies.
girl, I have already been preaching that. It must have been 5 minutes before you came in. I just talk about that. Make sure you get some batteries. Make sure you exchange your batteries. Don't just leave them in a spot and talk about I got batteries and let them go bad. Make sure you rotate the new batteries in for your old batteries. Make sure you get plenty of water. They said that the average one person needs about 3 gallons of water per day. Make sure you putting your water in water safe containers, not just the see-through plastic gallons of water because that can get contaminated over time. You want to make sure you have you a generator. We don't know what's coming down the pike. Just even in natural disasters, you are going to always need these things. People need to prepare themselves. Make sure you have some cash in small bills on hand because when things get bad, you may have to go out to somebody to get asked. Did you see that that movie? The what is that movie? Uh the world,
I
the
know
world
exactly what
left
you're talking
behind. Okay,
about.
so he needed to go out and get a pain pill from his neighbor, and all he had was large bills, and he had to pay that whole $100 bill for a pain pill. So you never know what's coming down the pipe. You're going to need you some small bills so you don't have to give away all of your money to get something that you desperately need and have to overpay for that. These are just real important natural things. Make sure you have you something to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And also
Oh,
a
you
lot
talking
of
about the
people.
smoky smoke?
No. I'm
What you
talking about
talking about?
poppy pop. Make sure, and because a lot of people don't know that during the 19 uh when we were locked away in our houses, a lot of
Oh,
these
yeah.
stores would only sell you 1 or 2 boxes minimum of the things that your poppity pop eats. So
Right.
a lot of people thought that they would be able to go out and get these things. No, they were
Get some
limiting.
magazines.
Uh, they were limiting how many i- individual things that you would even have to load the little pointy things.
Uh-huh,
They limit the number of them that you could buy in a day. So you need to make sure that you are prepared. These other people, they've been preparing for 20, 30 years.
Listen
And
here.
they,
Some people
they
have compounds. They have
and
compounds
and
already.
things that they call stockpiles. Okay, so these are things that people don't think about. But they can think about dumb shit. They think that it's important to dox your personal information, but they can't think about how they are going to survive. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, when you talk about small-minded people and a generation that has been manipulated into thinking this is the way to go. They feel like this is the only way in life. Like it's more things to life than just, the mediocre.
But what's gonna happen when this internet what's gonna happen if and when the internet gets disconnected?
Well,
What's gonna
TikTok
happen when
showed us,
power grids go down?
but peep this, TikTok showed us what it can feel like. If the internet, that was just an app leaving. Just imagine the internet, like you said, not being available.
Mhm.
Then
And
what?
then where are you even a lot of these people have no outside ways to entertain themselves, have no friends. What happens if the cellular service go down and the internet go down? Where are you going to get any information about why is all of this down and what's going on? You need to have you a you can either get a transition transistor radio or
Right, a
one of those
radio.
radio that works off
What are
of
the radios?
or the radio that works off of solar. They have these radios that work off solar. You're going to need a way to get information, viable information. So, hey, uh, it is what it is. People can take heed if they want to, or they don't have to. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what it takes for me. I'm giving you guys the information. I'm gonna take care of me.
That's right. And you're telling the community as well. So everybody make sure you take notes and make sure you share this live with somebody. I feel like this information needs to be out there. It's a conversation that needs to be had. And we need to definitely take a break from, some of the work and really get out there and educate ourselves. Make sure you're ready.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Thank you for coming up, Tulsa.
Oh,
So
yes.
go back in this video if you want to because it's a lot of scary things going on and a lot of people don't even see what's going on in front of them. So that's it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on the broadcast. And you have a wonderful day on purpose and everyone else.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I thank Tulsa for coming up and conversing with me. So I hope you guys, thank you, Sincere, for coming in. Yes, Miss Queenie. Yes, Miss Queenie. Yes, Miss Queenie. That is exactly what they want to do. Um, they have been complaining about their birth numbers dropping and the fear dropping. It's the fear of non-existence. That must be South Carolina. The 13th Amendment speaks to criminals and what they are considered. And let's be real about it. How many people are already in prisons for crimes that they haven't committed already? So do you think? And they mentioned taking all of these Mexicans away, and thus the Mexicans will leave all the black jobs. The Mexicans are in the fields, work in the fields. In many instances, they are trying to get you to think. But Mexican Americans are working all types of jobs in the United States. They have taken over all types of jobs. They have. Because why? Because they hire their own. They look out for their own. People want to make it like it's a bad thing, but how come you guys hadn't been hiring your own? How come you guys want to frown your nose up at somebody just like you because you don't want them to work in your area where you have access to rub elbows with people who don't even give a fuck about you, because it makes you more elite than the regular motherfucker, because you are brown nosing and elbowing with people who don't give a fuck about you, but your closeness and proximity to them make you feel more important than your own people. See, Mexicans don't do that. What they do, they get in a job, they get in a position to fire people, they hire people, they hire their own. They hire their own to the point that anyway, I ain't going there. I'm not going there. Uh, that's all I got. Booker T tried to tell us. Uh, uh, Thank you, my West Coast sister, for being here. I appreciate you all. Oh, let me close my poll. I forgot about my poll. You guys, I had zero hits on my goals, goals. Okay, let me see what my polls say before I leave. Okay, okay. Have you learned information shared on my channel? Yes, though you're not a teacher. 52% says yes, and they fucked around and found out real quick in this bitch. 18% yes, but I didn't come for that. 15% said y'all learned something, but you ain't even come for that. Y'all came over here for the whatever else that goes down over here. And child, what can I learn from you? What can you learn from 14% was like, child, what can I learn from you? That see, and see, I don't discount that attitude, and that's why when I bring my points of information up, that is the main reason why I show you where I learned this information. Because it's always this niggerism where people think that you like them or you beneath them, and therefore you can't teach them anything. And then there are the people who all she do is show videos on her channel because of this child, what can I learn from you aspect of the whole situation. For all this dummy crew, she don't know nothing, dummy this, dummy that, from the dumbest bitches in this whole sector. A dumb bitch who don't even know how to eat her proper meal amount, that she weighs between 6 and 800 pounds. Think that it's funny. I think that I give a fuck about her calling me dummy. A begging bitch who begged for college material, who never finished 1 or 2 semesters of said college, calling me dummy and talking about dumb shit all of her entire life. See, this is the exact reason why I drop the links, unlike the person who calls themselves a teacher, who comes up and get her era of lives history mixed up and wants somebody to review who's the better teacher. I never said I was a teacher. I give my commentary that I choose to give. So now I need to be compared to somebody who thinks that they're teaching somebody something. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm talking about the world events and how they are affecting you, me, and how we live our lives. I never claimed to be teaching you anything. I just tell you what I think about the events that are happening, and I give you some examples of media that you may not have heard certain events, and I keep it pushing. I ain't no motherfucking teacher. And Olivia, you ain't a motherfucking teacher either, bitch. You'll be talking about all of the details of the shit that I got in this video today, tomorrow, bitch. Because you a lazy bitch. Because you a know-nothing bitch. Because you don't like to do your own work type of bitch. But you can't go into details about anything that has actually happened, talking about the Gilded Age and all this shit. What the fuck you teaching talking about the Gilded Age, bitch? This ain't no Gilded Age, hoe. This is the age there where they trying to take you back, bitch. They trying to make America great again, bitch. The fuck you adding to this conversation, ho? In good detail. All right. Y'all telling me bye. I'm gone. I'm gone. I will leave on that note. Thank you for getting rid of me. Thank you for putting a boot in my ass. I am going to go now. Thank you. Please like, share, and join the membership. I will be doing a membership live. Sincere, speaking of Booker T. Washington, they are these white extremists who tried to buy up a town in Tennessee, and they said that they wanted to be a strictly white town, but they were not saying that black people couldn't live in it. They called them not white national, Christian. What is that? Christian nationalists, I think. But they weren't saying that black people couldn't live in the town, but they wanted the type of black people like Booker T. Washington. You know, they didn't want these people who think that they could use their life experiences to get sympathy from elected officials and such. They didn't want you to invoke your white rights. They didn't want you to invoke that you have been discriminated. No, you just need to be like Booker T. Washington. Stay in your place and don't use your life experiences to change laws and shit. Just understand this is what it is for you, and don't try to. You can stay in this town and Tennessee. So what happened? I did this story on my live. So what happened with those people in Tennessee? What happened was the regular people who already lived in Tennessee was like, no, you cannot settle your religious rights as this is already a town, and no, you cannot buy up this swath of land in this town and think that you are going to turn it into some far right racist town. So that's what happened. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed the live. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys being here. And that's all I had to say. Now, tomorrow is going to be 171 days. Let's see. Well, it may be some new shit on the horizon. He did a whole lot of these orders in the dead of night. So I may have some new shit in the morning. But if not, we'll talk about bullshit in the morning. I don't know. Meet me in the morning. Let's see what we're gonna talk about. All right. Bye bye.